Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel Testing Gyan. This is Tarun. Today we will understand about a topic which I'm sure every automation tester would have used at some point in their projects. The topic is Maven, which is one of the most popular build tool and is very widely used by developers and testers. Now before we start with the topic, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. So friends, as Maven is a very vast topic, so it won't be possible to cover it in a single video, and it is also not required to understand every aspect for the framework building series. So we will just understand and see the required things alone. So things which we will be covering in this video are what is Maven, how Maven works, where we need Maven in our requirement, that is automation framework development, how to create a Maven project, how to add dependency in Maven POM file. So to start, what is Maven in Java? As we will be building using Java, so we will understand what's the purpose of Maven in Java. Maven is a really strong project management or build tool that is used to build and manage any Java related project. So basically what exactly build means that it is capable of handling projects, reporting, documentation, and build process such as code compilation, dependency management, packaging, that is packaging our project into a executable file like jar or war file, then deploying our code to some server, right? All those tasks Maven can easily automate. That is why we call it as a build automation tool. The fundamental unit of work in Maven is POM, which is project object model. It is nothing but an XML file that contains information about the project and the configuration details used by Maven to build the project. Now let us see the overview of working of Maven, that is how Maven exactly works in our local system. So we will be having a project object model file, which is POM file. This file will have all the required details, like what is the build lifecycle phase or goal we have to use, like do we have to compile, we have to validate, we have to install. That build lifecycle phase will be there in the POM file. Then what are the dependencies, that is jar files, which we have to use in order to build a project, like do we need a JUnit jar, do we need a Selenium jar, right? All those jar details will be there in this file. Then the build plugins. Plugins are nothing but to perform every task in Maven, we do need a plugins. So there will be a plugin tag which will have the plugin detail to perform the specific task. Then the build profile, that is against we can have different profiles against which we can perform different tasks. So we can have different build profiles to perform the tasks, right? Now what exactly happens? The first thing is like Maven reads the POM file, then downloads the dependencies into the local repository. That is whatever dependency which we will define in our POM file, Maven, what it will do, it will download it into the local repository, which is nothing but a folder in your local system. And from where exactly it downloads? It downloads it from the internet, that is Maven's central repository or some remote repository. We will see about it when we will start building our Maven project, how exactly it is doing that. Then it executes the life cycle, build phases and goals, executes the plugins, and all executed according to the selected build profile. So this is the overview how Maven exactly works. And as you can see in this diagram, so Maven perform all these operations based on the instructions or the information provided in the POM file. And then it, for dependencies, it fetch the detail from the local repository. That is Maven local repository, which is nothing but a folder in our local system. Now we have got basic idea of what is Maven and how it works. Now let's see how to create a Maven project and then understand the main purpose for which we will be using Maven. So in order to do that, what exactly I will do, I will go to my VS Code. Okay, here I have just simply opened an empty folder in my system. As you can see, right, this is the folder which I have opened, learning folder in my VS Code. So in order to start with it, what I will do, I will press Control Shift P, which will open all the commands for me. And here I can search for Maven create command. And what exactly it will do, it will start building a Maven project for me. So the first thing it will ask, like, do we have to use any specific template? So Maven do have some predefined templates. If you don't want to use any template, you can skip it. But I will suggest to use the quick start template, as it will have some required details in the POM file. So let's select it. The version, you can select the latest one. Okay, then after this, it will ask you for the group ID. So what exactly a group ID is? Group ID is nothing, that is, let's say you are having multiple projects in your organization, then your organization can be a one group. That is, testing Gyan is one group. Under that, I can have multiple projects. Okay, like I can have one framework project, I can have one Selenium project, I can have one Java project, right? So my group ID will be my organization name, or like parent group, something under which you will be having some multiple tasks or projects. You can have that as a group ID. So I can give as com dot testing Gyan as my group ID, and then press enter. Then it will ask me for the artifact ID. So artifact ID is nothing but the your project exactly on which you are working. And you can give the name accordingly. So in this one, we will learn Maven. So we can give name Maven, or we can give name as framework, as at the end we will be using it for the framework building. So let's give it as framework. So now after this, it will ask me to select some folder, like in my local systems, and that is where exactly all these details, that is Maven folders, will be created. And then when I will select it, I can just simply select destination folder. You will see some Maven tasks has started. That is, it is building the Maven project in my local system now. Okay, it will again ask me a few details like what is the version of your packaging you want, what exactly the version you want, right? Those kind of details it will ask. So let us just wait for this process to finish. So as you can see now, it's asking me for my artifact version. That is, as once my project is developed, right, if I want to publish it, if I want to like create an executable file from it, I can have some version for that. So let's give it one for now. Then my package name will be com.testinggyan. So I can say yes. So as you can see now, my project is being created here. If I want to open it into a new window, I can select open here and it will open it there. For now, I will cancel it and I can see framework, SRC, main, test, all those folders will be there. Right? This is the standard format which we will get when we create a Maven project. So this is one more advantage of Maven, that it gives us a proper folder structure, that is where we have to keep our main code of the project, where we have to keep the test cases for our project, right? That kind of structure. And this is our POM file, that is project object model file. If I open this file, you will see this file will have all the details, like this is the name of my project, this is my group ID, this is my artifact ID, right? And then these are the properties, like this is using the Java Maven compiler version as 1.7. We can change that version if required. We just have to update the details here. Okay, then dependency tag, you can see, and the dependencies are nothing but the jar files. So at the moment, by default, it will only add dependency JUnit. And why we are getting all these details? This is because we selected the archetype as quick start. That is, we selected the quick start template, right? That is why we are getting some details in our POM file. If we would have not selected that template, then we would not have got these many details. We just have got a standard template, nothing else. So then after that, these are the plugins, that is Maven Clean plugin, Resource plugin. As I mentioned, like to perform every task in Maven, there will be some plugin linked to it. So these are the different plugins which can be used for different operations, like Maven jar plugin and those kind of things. Okay. Then yeah, so this is the basic structure of Maven. There are different tags which are available, like we can go through them like if required, like as per our requirement, right? So at the moment, the main thing which we have to use is this tag, dependencies tag. So mainly, like when we will be building our project, when we will be creating a project, we will be requiring different type of jars. Like we in order to perform the Selenium operations, we will be requiring the Selenium jars, right? In order to perform the Excel operations, we will be requiring the Apache Koi libraries, right? So we can have all those dependencies here. Now what exactly happens when we add this dependency? Okay, so if we take the standard approach which we used to follow before Maven, was like go to your project build path and select the downloaded library and add it into your build path. But with Maven, we won't be doing that approach, which is very beneficial for us. For example, now if I have to update the JUnit version here, I will not go to some other location. I will simply go to this POM file and just update the version, whatever version I need. And if I need some more dependency, I will simply add the dependency in the dependency tag. Now let us try adding one dependency here just to understand. So what I will do, I will just search Maven central repository. So Maven Central Repository is basically a community, like where a lot of people just push various Maven libraries, like Selenium libraries, then your TestNG libraries, then your Apache Koi libraries. Okay, so this is an uh, community supported repository available on the internet. So if I go to this central repository here, I will simply search, like let's say I have to add the Selenium, right? Then I will search Selenium, okay, and then hit search button here. You will see like it will give me all the various libraries available for Selenium. As we will be using Java, so let's add the Selenium Java libraries. So this is the latest version which we are seeing here, 4.9.1. Then we can just copy this dependency tag, Control C. If you want to download the jar file, you can click on this option here. It will download the jar file. But in Maven, we don't need to download the jar. That is something which Maven will take care for us. So let's go to your project again, and let's just add this dependency tag here. So you can see we have added the Selenium dependency here. Control S. So it will say. So as soon as we did it, so what exactly will happen? Let me just show you here. It's just loading the prompt for Java project. VS Code. Just give it a minute. Right here, you can see this tag, right? Maven dependencies. If I go to these Maven dependencies here, you can see, right, it has downloaded like a lot of libraries here. Okay, depending on the details which we provide, you can even see the Selenium libraries here now. Okay, so how exactly this thing is happening? So what happens, like when we provide this dependency detail here, what Maven do? Maven simply like start downloading those libraries from the Maven central repository into our local folder in our system, into a local folder in our system. And that folder is nothing which is called .m2 folder, which will have all the libraries details here. So if I go to that folder here, So you can see this is .m2 folder, and if I go to repository, then you can see whatever the libraries which are being downloaded, all those libraries will be available here, even the Selenium one. And if we want to see where exactly those libraries are being downloaded, we can simply see like here, right? If I have to see any of the Selenium library, I can just see the path here. It's under .m2 folder, repository, and then org. So if I go to that location here, under repository, I have to go to the org folder, and then Selenium HQ, under that Selenium. And you can see all those libraries, Selenium API library, Chrome driver, and all, everything will be available here in this folder. Now, if you ask me like what will happen, like whenever we build our project, every time it will start downloading the libraries from the central repository. No, it's not like that. What happens, like once it is downloaded, then whenever this library will have to be used in your project, it will first go and look into the local folder of your system. If that library is available, that same version is available in the local folder of Maven, then it will not go to central repository to download it. If it's not available, then it will start downloading it from the central repository. So this is exactly how dependencies, that is jar files, can be easily managed in our project. Now, if I have to change the version, I can simply update the version. If I have to add some other library, I can just go to central repository, find out that library, and just add it in our project. So this is how Maven makes our task very simple. It helps us to build a project very easily. So this was all about Maven and where exactly we will be using Maven in our framework building exercise. So I hope you all got the idea. In case of any questions, please let us know over the video comments. Thank you.